Hi everyone and welcome to my craft room. My name's Julianne Richards and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in southern Tasmania. Thanks for joining me. I know it's short notice. I don't usually go live on Sunday morning, but the house is quiet. Everyone's out doing something or other, and the light is good, so I thought I'd pop in and do the quickie. And it will be a quickie, I can tell you that. Just checking my volume. Yep, no, that seems to be okay. Okay, just this little video today, I wanted to showcase a couple of old favourites, being the Peaceful Moments and Butterfly Gala stamp sets. But I also wanted to show you this lovely designer series paper, which is a SaleABration giveaway from the 5th of January to the 28th of February next year. So it's basically you make a purchase of $90 plus postage, that's Australian dollars plus postage, and you can choose this beautiful designer series paper as a freebie. So for every multiple of $90, those of you who don't know, during SaleABration, for every multiple of $90 you spend, you get to choose a freebie. And there are quite a few great things to choose in this little brochure. So if you want a copy of this brochure and you don't have an active demonstrator in Australia, just give me a hoy and I'll pop it in the mail for you. There's some great stuff in there, but I just can't show you until the 5th of January. Anyway, so I can show you the actual paper, which, let's face it, is much better. So it is really nice, and I don't know whether it is just the colours that appeal to me or the patterns. It's just something about it that personally really appeals. I've got this really cute little pink one here, and this is the one I'm actually using today. And all the backs are really nice as well. So, you know, it's really hard to choose. Do I like the back? Do I like the front? Or is that the front and that's the back? Who knows? It's got this really funky dots, which are really nice. Lots of good colours for matching. And the back is cool too. Again, we've got the little flowers. So I should tell you what this one's called, just so you can pop it on your wish list. Sort of some blue flowers there. Hang on. It's the Paper Blooms designer series paper, as I mentioned. More flowers there, and there with the blue background. But they're really nice. Anyway, so I wanted to do something that actually complemented the papers. Paper Blooms designer series paper, it's called. It's really nice. So put that one on your wish list for a SaleABration. Anyway, so as I say, I'm going to use this little one here, but you could use any of the papers or any paper at all for what I'm about to show you. I wanted to do something to showcase the paper. I didn't want it to be fussy or busy or crowded. I just wanted the paper to talk for itself. And I don't know about you guys, but I love the idea of one sheet wonders. But I get halfway through them and I wonder what the heck I've started for. You know, you have so many tiny little pieces of paper that by the time you've got them cut down so small, you're not really showcasing the paper, which is what you've set out to do. So for this one, I've decided to keep the paper as large as possible. So I'm going to keep it basically card side. Means you won't get, I get 7 cards from this piece of paper, but it does showcase the paper beautifully. It doesn't cover over too much of it. So I'm really happy about this, and I'll share with you shortly what I'm actually going to do with these little cards that I've created. So to cut the paper, I'm going to cut it, and I have to say I do love the love it, chop it hashtag that Kylie Bertucci's got out, because that's exactly what we're doing here. We love it and we want to chop it. So I'm going to chop this paper into firstly by 5 3/8. So all the way down. Hopefully you can see most of my my trimmer here. And then again 5 3/8. And then these larger bits, I'll get rid of that little. You're going to be so surprised, there's hardly any wastage in this. It's basically the whole sheet we're going to use. And then each of these I'm going to chop to 3 3/4. Yeah, there we go. So I can see a few of everyone jumping on. Happy Sunday morning, everybody. Thanks for joining me, whether you're having your second cup of coffee, or it is 10 o'clock I suppose, so you've probably got your day well and truly underway. Tell me what you're doing with your Sunday, if you want to pop into the comments and tell me what you've got happening today. I've got a very exciting afternoon. I'm having afternoon drinkies with two of my favourite people, two of my favourite crafters. So I see Sally's on, and probably Elizabeth might watch later, but yeah, looking forward to it, ladies. Okay, so here I have 6 pieces, and they're all the same, just 6 pieces, easy as. There you go. Then we've got these offcuts here, and what I'm going to do with the offcuts is hi Sally, and what I'm going to do with the offcuts, I'm going to leave these two just as is for the moment. I might trim them down later, but I want to see how they fit. And then this one I'm going to chop into 4-inch, and I may have to trim it a little bit when it comes down to it, into 4-inch segments. So that's easy. No confusing schematics or templates that you see on Pinterest sometimes where you think you need some sort of degree in engineering. That's basically what it is. So as I say, we're going to get 7. You could probably get 8, but I'm going to get 7 cards. As I say, I want to showcase the paper. So with this lovely paper, I have chosen to stay with the colours that are involved. I have a colour I haven't used very much, and I'm very ashamed. It's the and the name's gone out of my head. See, I don't use it very often, do I? Rococo Rose. I should just have a look at the DSP, because it's actually one of the, yes, Rococo Rose card base. My normal size card base, 8 1/4 by 5 3/4 scored to make an A4 card. I have one of my favourite colours that I haven't used all that much this year because there's been so many other beautiful choices. This is oh my goodness, Blackberry Bliss. I should have written these down, shouldn't I? It's obviously too early on a Sunday morning. This is Blackberry Bliss, and that's a good 1/4 inch smaller than our card base. So that would be 5 1/2 by 3 7/8. So I've got quite a large border. I didn't want to lose too much of my Rococo Rose. And as you can see, that fits perfectly with a smaller border with our designer series paper just there. So those colours, they're just so pretty, I think. Very feminine and quite sort of almost powdery in their appearance. So then basically all I've got then is a very small serrated oval out of the Blackberry Bliss and the matching oval. So these are from the layered oval dies in the Whisper White, and a very small, I think it's 6 1/2 inch piece of the Denim Ribbon, which is another thing that I haven't actually used all that much. So I think these cards would be wonderful for using those bits of ribbon and that, you know, the cardstock and the designer series paper that you don't use all that much. And from here, it's so easy. So basically this is a card or a set of cards that you could whip out pretty easily and pretty quickly for gift giving, which is basically, I've given myself away, which is basically what I'm going to do here. So I'm just going to attach the Blackberry Bliss to the Rococo Rose. And I know we all have different ways of saying that. I say Rococo, you say something different. I can't remember. I've heard all sorts of versions of that. And then the designer series paper straight on top. As I say, this is the quickest card. No layering, no sort of fancy schmancy angling. There we are. So simple. Then what I'm going to do is, this is where the butterflies come in. I have the little butterfly from the, excuse me, itchy nose. The little butterfly from the Butterfly Gala. This one here. So he's actually on the same stamp as the big butterfly. But basically just to do him, I have just grabbed the smallest scraps of Whisper White and my black ink, which has disappeared. Here it is. And my black ink, just sort of inked up the very edge. make sure you see that, just inked up the very edge of the stamp, because all I really want is the little butterfly. And just want some piece of scrap to go under there so I don't get my, just pop him straight on there. There, so that's all I want from that. I did try early on to do the big butterfly and the little butterfly and all that sort of thing, but I found myself pulling myself back, because my idea with this one was to basically showcase the paper. So I didn't want to get too fussy with my decoration. And after you've been card making for a while, it's really hard to keep it simple. I don't know about you guys, you'll probably put it in the comments if you found the gift to keeping it simple. I tend to overdo it. It seems to be my natural tendency these days to put too much on, or to put a lot on. Okay, so with the punch that comes with the Butterfly Gala, or matches the Butterfly Gala stamp set, I'm just going to pop it in just the top part there, just for the little butterfly, and punch him out. As easy as that. So here we've got a little butterfly. Then what I'm going to do with him is bring in my blends, and I'm using the light and the dark Rococo Rose and the light Night of Navy. And all I'm going to do is basically just colour a little bit of the blue. I just love the blue and the pink, the contrast in this card, in this paper. Sue, I thought I saw a question. Tune in, where's the paper from? It's one of the SaleABration freebies, Sue. It's a $90 choice. So you spend $90 and you can pick this one free. It's really nice. It's really lovely. And then I've got my dark Rococo Rose there. It doesn't really matter. You can let yourself go with the colouring. And then I'm going to use my light Rococo Rose just on the edges of his wings there. Okay, so that's my little butterfly. Probably a little bit far away for you to see. I'll flutter him up there so you can see. Get a bit closer to my camera. There he is. Just as simple as simple. Okay, so hopefully I'll give that a minute to rebalance, to refocus there, because I know it'll focus on my hand and then have trouble. Okay, so that's fine, it's refocused. All right, so we'll bring back in our card and our two little sentiment boxes and our ribbon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp this one with the Happy Birthday stamp from the Peaceful Moments. And the Happy Birthday and the Thank You both fit this size oval really, really well. But you can use whatever stamp you've got that fits. And I'm just going to stamp him in there. Just like that. Pop some glue on the back, trying not to smudge it as I go. And then pop that on to our little serrated, serrated oval there. Just like that. Okay, I'm going to fold over our denim ribbon. So this is a denim ribbon, it's still available. It actually, I think, came out with the stamp set with the little animals last year, but it kept on being sold, which is good. So I'm just going to cut little angles at the end of that ribbon. Just cut little triangles off. It's a good one to cut, it doesn't fray too badly. And then double it over so that those little sort of cut bits sort of form a banner at the end there. We'll pop that on the card just there. I'm going to get some dimensionals for our sentiment box. What have I got here? This is a really good one to use your ends for, and at the moment I have a lot of ends. So I used a lot of the ends when I did this yesterday, or when I did these cards yesterday. So I'm going to pop quite a few dimensionals on, probably more than I would normally, because some of them have to hold down your ribbon and some of them actually have to hold down your sentiment box. So I'll pop them quite a few. on there. I had a funny experience yesterday. My eldest son has decided he wants to become my editor. So he took my one of my videos, the one I'm premiering this afternoon, and he decided to edit it for me, sort of edit out all the where I bumped the microphone and where I yelled at their father and all those sorts of things. It's the one I'm premiering this afternoon. You guys wouldn't have seen it yet. So he's edited it down for me, took out all the bloopers, so to speak. And yeah, it's quite funny because my bloopers must be quite numerous in his eyes. So he's reduced it quite considerably, and it jumps all over the place. Like 1 minute I've got a pen in shot and then the pen's gone, or I've got, you know, it's quite funny. But anyway, so you'll see it. If you go over to my YouTube channel this afternoon, you'll see it there. The edited version, we'll see how it goes. Okay, so I'm holding my ribbon down with my left hand, and I'm going to bring in our sentiment box and just pop it, just capture the ribbon behind the sentiment box. Well, that's the theory anyway. There we go. So the ribbon is trapped under those dimensionals behind the sentiment box, just like that. So isn't that sweet? And it doesn't do too much. You can still see your beautiful paper, but you've got the highlight of the ribbon that brings out the Night of Navy there. So then what I'm going to do is bring in our little butterfly, at least the one that I coloured. And I'm going to pop a little gem or little rhinestone on him. Couldn't get away without some bling on this. It'd be too simple otherwise. So I'm just going to pop a little rhinestone just on the centre of our little butterfly, just where his wings meet there. I don't know if you can see it if I'm in camera. Yep, you are. And then I'm going to pop that. Maybe you can watch it with your visitors this afternoon. I might be too embarrassed for you to watch it while I'm there, because you do get a bit of a mention. Okay, unless he edited that bit out, I'm not quite sure. It could be just... It could be very, very utilitarian, not much to it at all. So I've just popped our little butterfly there, just slightly overlapping our sentiment box. And then I'm going to add some more bling. You can't go too simple with these things. Just one there and another one. Eek, come on you, just there. There we are. So all we need now in this one is and I know I've got one cut, yep, a Whisper White panel for inside. And you can stamp this with whatever you want, with the butterflies, with an extended sentiment, or just leave it blank. Because I'm giving these as a gift, which I've given it away, I'm leaving it blank inside. Okay, so there we are. So what I have done is, I don't know about you guys that make cards, but when it gets known in the world out there that you make cards, every relative crawls out of the, I hope I've got no relatives watching, but every relative crawls out of the, I was going to say out of the mud, but my relatives don't live in the mud, but you know, crawls out of the cupboard saying, can you make me a card? Have you got a card? I'd like some cards. So basically I give most of my cards to relatives, and so I thought this time, since my family have decided not to give Christmas presents to each other this year, I thought I would finish the cards from this one sheet wonder, or this cut it or love it, and I'm giving them to my mum, so she'll have some cards and she won't bug me every 5 minutes for a birthday card. So I've done some as happy birthday. I've done 3 happy birthday. I think I've done 4 happy birthday actually. I've done 4 happy birthdays and 2 thank yous, which is sort of the cards. It's a proportion that she sort of bugs me for. So she's got 6 really, really pretty little floral butterfly cards there, which I think will be perfect for her bowls ladies. So that's, since, as I say, since we're not giving presents, I'm just going to bundle those up I've got 6 envelopes there, had 7, but I've got 6 envelopes. I've got one of our awesomely versatile acetate boxes, so they're for sale. They are for sale on our website if you want them, you want to purchase them. And I'll just pop 6 little, I think they're actually built for 5, but I'll squeeze in 6, no worries at all. And as long as Mum's not watching, she's got a really, really pretty little, and I might actually also decorate the outside, put a belly band on it or something like that. And I'll pop these in the back, just like that. And hopefully Mum will like her little Christmas card, her little set of cards for Christmas. There we are, just like that. So that's my present to my mum, since we're actually not giving actual Christmas presents to each other this year. So don't tell her, anyone, that's what she's getting. Plus a Christmas card that I actually made for a video as well, so who's to say that's not useful. Okay, so the last one was the one that we had all these leftover bits for. So we had all these leftover bits here. So I thought, I haven't actually made this one yet, but I sort of know what I was going to do. So I already have a happy birthday all stamped and popped onto its backing. And I have another card base, which is the normal card base that we used before. And I have a piece of Blackberry Bushel. Names, no, it's not Blackberry Bushel. Blackberry Bliss. I knew it was a tongue tire that I've got for there as well. And I think this card's going to be a landscape card, not a portrait card. So what I thought I would do, so I'll just keep the Blackberry Bliss part, is lay these on like this. Let's see how it goes. It should just have, just perfectly with the sizing, just a tiny little border between and a tiny little border top and bottom. And then these longer ones, skinnier ones, I'll put down the side. So they will have to be trimmed down, and actually they're going to have to be a little bit skinnier now I look at them as well. So what I might do is I'll put these on first, and that gives me a bit of a guide. But look at that back. That back is just so pretty as well. How can you choose? I might make the next set, the ones that I've cut for you, using the other side, using the blue, maybe blue and white rather than Rococo Rose and Blackberry Bliss. Yeah, that's what I'll do. So I'm going to pop those there. Now, you're just using my eye just to make sure they're central that way and that way. And I might bring a bit of white in because it's a bit hard to see on the green. Let's do that. That's a good thing I did. It's a little bit crooked. Let's do that. So this is your 7th card out of your, what am I calling it? One sheet wonder with this paper. Said at the beginning of the video, this is the, oh my goodness, I think I need more coffee. This is the Paper Blooms Designer Series paper. That is one of our $90 SaleABration freebies starting from the 5th of January. So if you like this paper, and as I say, I think it's among the prettiest paper I've seen for a couple of years. And it's free when you spend $90. So I've got those there. Then I'm going to bring those down the side. As I said, I'm going to have to trim them down lengthwise and a tiny bit widthwise as well. So I want them to be 4 inches long. And I'm not even going to guess how wide, but they do need to come in a tiny bit, probably a 1/8 of an inch max. Just make it straight on my little guillotine. There we go. And trim that down. I can trim it down a little bit more if I think I need to. also needs to be a little bit shorter. I thought I made it 4 inches, but obviously it's got to be a bit less. So let's make it a 4 and a 3 7/8 maybe. And I'll come back in a moment to show you how much of this paper we haven't used. It's really not very much. We've used most of it. It needs to come down a little bit more. I know I'm being picky, but it does. I'll just trim it with the scissors. Okay, let's pop that there. That's better. Okay, so I'm popping that one there, just with some glue. Yep. Yeah, then I'm going to do the same with the other one, if I can find it. Nope, it's just there. I'm going to trim this one down as well. Is that too much? No, that's it. And a little bit off the width, just a tiny touch. Come on, you, behave yourself. And I'm going to pop that on this end here. Okay, so that's that. There. Oh, sticky fingers. Where's my buddy? Oh, my buddy's not there. Okay. So that's quite nice, and that's used all our leftover paper there quite nicely. So if I bring our card base back in, just going to pop that onto our card base. Do the same with our ribbon and our little sentiment as well. There we are. And the little sentiment box is probably tucked away under there somewhere. Yes, it is. I'll pop him on there. Another 6.5 inch piece of ribbon, which would have to be say about that. Doesn't matter. I'm just doing it by eye. Fold it over and give it its little triangles off the end. Don't you go anywhere. And some dimensionals. It's been so good this. I've used all my leftovers. I've used all my little dregs of paper and the ribbon that I haven't used before, and the ends of my dimensionals. It's a wonderful way of using your the leftovers, the retiring DSP, all those sorts of things, just to make it a very pretty little present, I think, plus an extra. So what I'm going to do is the one that I've made, did I say that already? I'm going to use it for thank you presents, thank you gifts for my customers next month. So if you buy from me during the month of January, you'll score one of these cards as a little thank you card. So watch out in the mailbox for that. Okay, so I'm going to pop this one down here. I'm not going to change the layout at all. I think it's quite simple and sweet. And then bring in our happy birthday. I haven't done a butterfly for this one. Here we are. So there we are. I might do, we did have a spare butterfly, didn't we? I might colour that butterfly in when I'm off camera, and I'll take a picture of it so you guys can see. I'll add a few little dimensionals, as little rhinestones as well, just to give it a bit of bling. There we are. There we are. So that's our leftovers, and I can show you now we've finished it all, I can show you the amount of that we didn't use of that designer series paper. Basically, those two tiny little pieces there. That is all we didn't use out of that whole sheet, 12 by 12 sheet of designer series paper. So how about that? How about that? That's just, you know, there's no scraps to worry about storing till next time. It's all done. Okay, so pop the inner inside there. Pop my little butterfly, colour him in and pop him in as well. And it's done. Okay, so that's all I really wanted to show you today. As I say, I'm premiering a more complicated video this afternoon at 4 o'clock. So if you pop over to either my Facebook post, there's a link, or over to my YouTube channel, there's a premiere there that's going to start at 4 o'clock Australian Daylight Savings Time. So that's our 7 little cards there today in record time. As I say, a gift for Mum for Christmas, and an extra little bonus happy birthday there as well. So as I say, if you enjoyed that, please watch for more. If you'd like to get a hold of the SaleABration catalogue, the SaleABration pamphlet, I suppose you'd call it, and the new mini catalogue that starts on the 5th of January, please, if you don't have a demonstrator, please drop me a line and I'll pop them in the mail for you quite happily. But anyway, thanks guys. I'll see you sort of live but not live at 4 o'clock this afternoon, and otherwise I'll see you during the week. So have a great week, and Kathy, you can have your 4th coffee, and I'll catch you guys next time. Okay, thanks. Bye.